Welcome to Akhand Vidyashram, the first institute of impeccable wisdom, the walking, talking encyclopedia. VIGYAN CHAKRA, the endocrine hypothalamus. My mission, the impeccable wisdom, knowing which everything is fully known. My greatest discovery, Divyank, the divine design of nature with which the perfect objects are designed and created. Divyank is a reward of 60 years of integrated education. Impeccable wisdom is enlightening, and integrated knowledge is empowering. Vigyan Chakra. Vigyan means science. So here starts a very scientific approach toward chakras are the association with endocrine glands and autonomic nervous system. Nervous system I have already finished. I have explained what autonomic nervous system and its association with sympathetic system, cranial parasympathetic and sacral parasympathetic. We will give a reflection of this in the coming slides. But at this particular juncture, let me show the hypothalamus is the center for autonomic system, endocrine system, and releasing hormones are synthesized in hypothalamus. They are carried through the unique portal vein system called hypothalamic hypophyseal axis to anterior pituitary to produce stimulating hormones thereafter. And this particular center is not found in Satchakra Nirupana. Satchakra Nirupana does not talk of Vigyan Chakra. And this particular center is associated with planet Jupiter. And number of lotus petals are 52. I would be explaining that little later after a few weeks with a kind of mathematical conclusion about the distance of different planets, associated planets from Sun divided by 1/10 the distance between Sun and Earth, which could be 15 million kilometers. The distance between Earth and Sun is 150 million kilometers. And distance between Sun and Jupiter is 780. 780 divided by 15 is equivalent to 52. That's how it is. But I'll give an explanation later. And as I said, there is no mention in Satchakra Nirupana, and it is posterior part of the hypothalamus is associated with sympathetic nervous system, and anterior is with the cranial parasympathetic system, and it is also associated with rising consciousness called Udana Prana, right from Vishuddhi to Agnya to this, and thereafter right up to Sahasrara. Udana Prana is the one which is able to improve the quality of consciousness towards spiritual awakening. We'll get into that detail later. Now, there is a great mystery or revelation of Vigyan Chakra or this Vigyan, this particular symbolic representation. Let me share this for the benefit of the people who haven't seen my other videos. I got myself registered for PhD work on science of psychophysiology of yoga and subsequently leading to Kundalini Yoga. And during the process, I learned that meditations are process connected with Kundalini Yoga or Akhand Yoga helped me to produce alpha frequency with open eyes, but after opening the eyes, I could still retain alpha frequency, which normally does not happen. Normal age is you produce alpha frequency from occipital region only when mind is at rest and eyes are closed. Very moment you do mental calculation is replaced by beta. Very moment you open your eyes is beta, not alpha. And alpha frequency is not seen throughout the brain, only in the occipital region primarily. But in 95, in the course of 2 years of my research work, I could produce alpha frequency after opening the eyes, which was very unusual finding, and everybody was surprised that I could do something which nobody has done. And thereby I was challenging all the neurosciences of the world in the process, who said, alpha frequency is like a signature, it does not change. In 93, to start with, it was 10.5 hertz alpha frequency, but as on today, it is 8 hertz frequency. I've been able to reduce the frequency, I can produce throughout the brain, and with that awareness, which I could do, and all the control subject which I had of my age group, and also the people who had been meditating for 20, 30, 40 years, who claim themselves to be yogis, I'm very sorry to say, none of them could produce alpha frequency after opening the eyes. Since I was the only one who could do, no one else. The question is, I always felt that I was like a common, just common, ordinary human being. I'm not the one who does tapasya 24/7, who has gone to Himalayas, gone to ashrams, this and that. I've been leading a very normal life of married man, having family, children, relatives, having a pharmaceutical company, having a hospital of my own. I was leading a life of complete life like any professional would have it. But not going to yoga centers, not going to ashrams, not going to not learning anything. As a matter of fact, I was totally novice about every subject, including Kundalini chakras and nadis, till I was initiated into it. But within 4 years, I could produce alpha frequency. After opening the airway, this was a wing. So that is the time I prayed it to Mata Vaishno Devi, Goddess Durga. Please tell me the secret. That's the time I got connected with my voice of silence or my own soul or Antaratma or Kundalini. And I was made to understand that I've been chosen for a particular design, this particular work of spiritual science, and I should follow this voice and everything will be revealed at the right time. At that particular juncture, I felt, let me check what exactly do I have to do. And first instruction was to make a charitable trust of my own, which I made. Then I was made to improvise the text. And you can see that particular picture in the middle, which is improvised version of symbol logo for Akhand Foundation, my first charitable trust, which I was asked to formulate and get it registered. But after seeing this, I was also guided to understand that this picture represents the Tatriya's picture as well as Gayatri picture. I was quite surprised that these plus Gayatri mantra I could explain with this particular symbol so beautifully. I also felt great that in animate form of symbols of gods and goddesses of Hinduism, mantras, I'm able to convert that to semi-animate. So then the doubt came in my mind. If I am the chosen one and the voice of silence is Antaryami, omnipotent, omniscient, omnipresent, knows everything, the entire universe, all the secrets of universe are known to this particular voice of silence, then why not I ask a question and be confirmed that I am following a voice which I can follow for the rest of my life? And the question was very simple. Thank you for making me make this particular symbol and also understand animate and inanimate forms of gods and goddesses of Hinduism, particularly Dattatreya and Gayatri on one side, and also Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh, and also Saraswati, Mahalakshmi, Mahakali, and all the gods and goddesses. It was very interesting that I could understand what is the science behind it. That's why I call it VIGYAN. But if you can't, the voice of silence, please, if you can make me convert animate, semi-animate, and totally inanimate using only mathematics and geometry alone, like the symbols of the science. They do not represent religion, but each symbol has a one concept alone. If it is a plus, minus, this, that is only that. If you can make me a graphic presentation of this perfectly, which I can see all these factors, animate, semi-animate into that, then I would follow you blindly for the rest of my life. And then I was made to design this particular symbol. And how this was designed, let me now share with you. For a first step, I was asked to make a circle and divide into 9 parts. That was the step 1, which you can see on the top left side. Then I was told, divide 1 by 7, because 7 is a mystic number, an occult number of nature. Everything is divided into 7 parts, whether it's earth, antariksh, atmosphere, or 7 heavens. It's all 7. So divide 7. And when I divided 1 by 7, it was equivalent to 142,857. Then I was asked to connect 142,857 to 1, as you can see in the second picture. When I made that picture, then I was told 3 spots in this 9, 6 have covered, 3, 6 and 9 are untouched, and they are the divine number, which even Tesla talks about it. The secret of the universe lies in number 3, 6, 9. Anyone who can understand number 3, 6 and 9 would understand divinity much better. Hats off to Tesla, that he also has spoken hundreds of years back. And keeping that in mind, I was made to make a triangle, Shakta triangle or male triangle, and put it on that particular spot between 3, 6 and 9, as you can see in the third picture. And that was the picture which emerged. Very moment this picture emerged, it reminded me of a symbol which West has been using for many, many years. Now, after that, I was asked to make another triangle, which is female triangle, and superimpose opposite the male triangle. As you can see, I have done one triangle going up and one triangle going down in the fourth picture. And you can see what I started to circle with 9 points, then cover to 7 points, then cover to the 9 points. Now we had 12 points touched in this particular symbol. And everything centers around 12 planets, 12 nakshatras and rashis, and complete astronomy and astrology centers around this particular concept. But after making that, I realized, you can see the picture down, that all animate, semi-animate, 3 heads of Lord Dattatreya and 5 heads of Goddess Vidya, and 4 dogs or 4 Vedas, 3 plus 5 plus 4, 12, I could see. Right at the bottom, you can see 3 things pointing down. They represent 3 heads of Dattatreya. And right on top, you have 5 lotus petals which point up. They represent heads of this. And on either side, you have 4 triangles which represent 4 Vedas. I was pleasantly surprised that if this soul knows everything, is able to give me something which has never been done in the history of mankind. It is not copy of something else, but it makes a lot of scientific sense. Then I call it VIGYAN, Chakra. And then I thought enough. And since the making of this particular center, I've been following only Voice of Silence. My information comes from Voice of Silence, and Voice of Silence makes me understand this. All the information actually stored in Akash Kosh, and frequency of Akash Kosh is 8.73 hertz. If you can produce a frequency of 8.7 hertz throughout the brain, you can activate 3 outer layers of neocortex and make it look like an antenna to Akash Kosh, which is ionosphere layer of Schumann resonance field. You could get all the information from there, which is perfect, without anything. The way the universe has designed from before the creation to thereafter, all the materials and all these videos are actually information which I got from there, then understood in the light of modern sciences, then convert into symbolic forms for the benefit. Okay, this is a great spiritual science. And pictures of gods and goddesses of Hindu are not figments, imagination, mythology, otherwise. They are purest, greatest spiritual science of the highest order. But to understand that, you got to understand nature. You got to be in tune with nature. And now, since it's not possible for everybody to be in tune with nature, for the benefit of the humanity, I'm trying to translate that in the light so that everyone can understand how beautiful are these symbolic representations. Now, from that angle, now let's proceed to the next one. Vigyan, hypothalamus, I have shown these symbols. You can see hypothalamus in the middle and the symbol of Vigyan chakra right on top and Pragyan on top, then Sahasrara on top. And also association of hypothalamus with anterior and posterior pituitary, you can see, and its association with Ajna chakra. So from that is a replication key how these chakras I could experience for the first time and explain that it is grace. And endocrine hypothalamus produces releasing hormone synthesized in picograms. All the releasing hormones in picogram in very small doses. Normally hormones are carried in the blood to be taken to the organ where it is required. But since a very small quantity in micro doses or picogram from hypothalamus, it had to be delivered to the anterior pituitary immediately with the help of hypothalamic hypophyseal axis, which is beautiful unique portal system. And that's why I've written on that side, because otherwise they'll get lost. So look at the design of our own nervous system, our own body, how beautiful it is. But do we understand, appreciate and acknowledge it and then make optimum use? We don't. So I'm just trying to show how beautifully we have the system. If we can understand, experience that and be in tune with nature, we can do wonders for ourselves as well as humanity. By and large, we can create a world peace thereafter. From that, let's now, as I told you, this is also associated with Udana Prana, the rising of consciousness, which starts from Vishuddhi Chakra to ascending reticular formation, brain, pituitary and hypothalamus, and of course, the higher levels to the brain and outer three layers of neocortex, which you have seen in the last one. And energy around is called Vayana. Now, as I told you, endocrine system, I have already spoken. Also, the autonomic nervous system important. It's a sympathetic nervous system which is responsible associated with hypothalamus. I have already told you the posterior neurons close to thalamus are sympathetic in nature, where the anterior are this. So, this particular chakra, hypothalamus, sympathetic nervous system is placed posteriorly to be close to thalamus so that immediate action can be taken with the response required to survive. So from that angle I've already spoken, this information will do. Cranial parasympathetic system, I've already told you, all these nerves are connected with midbrain, pons, medulla oblongata. There are four pairs of cranial parasympathetic nerves like oculomotor, facial, glossopharyngeal and vagus are closely associated with hypothalamus plus brainstem, and they control the whole subconscious involuntary functions of the body. You can see, I have already explained, you can see in this picture how cranial parasympathetic nervous system tries to bring rest, digestion and conserve energy, whereas sympathetic is to mobilize. And the balance of autonomic nervous system of sympathetic and parasympathetic is absolutely essential to lead a perfectly healthy, emotionally stable, mentally alert, attentive and free from stress, strain. And this balance of autonomic nervous system is absolutely essential. And as a result, all the chakras are associated with autonomic nervous system and endocrine. When these two systems are powerful, fully functional, believe it, you will not have any problem whatsoever. Everything will be automatically well taken care of. And of course, this is the picture which I have repeated. And this picture I have been saying from the time, this is a real beauty of Tantra Vidya as revealed to me And with my experiences, I've been able to translate that into new graphic representations in a mathematical design and geometrical without using any other thing, and also use the medical symbol of the thing, staff of Mercury, Hermes, and of course Indian Tantras, Ida, Pingla, Sushmana Nadi, and all have been able to correlate here and explain. This is where ancient Indian wisdom, in the light of modern sciences of human anatomy, physiology, biochemistry, and psychology, put together, only we can understand total human being completely. Anyone who can understand it completely, the only one who can be in tune with nature and be good to the self and good to the world and lead to world peace. I would leave it at that, and we have been talking about it. So at this juncture, I can only say it has been a pleasure for me to unfold or decode ancient Indian wisdom in the light of modern sciences, particularly mathematics, physics, chemistry, and biology, and share with the world for the love of it, with the hope that we will experience world harmony and peace throughout the world, where everybody would understand everything properly. There will not be knowledge available which is to be unlearned. We'll write new books from school, college to universities and research, which is uniform, and talk of the perfection at every level. We'll not talk of relativity, we'll talk of absolute wisdom and impeccable wisdom only. And that is what Akhand Vidyashram stands for. So anyway, thank you very much.